Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Brief. My name is Janis, the host of the Morning Brief, and today is Friday, July 29th, 2022. And this morning, of course, I am on live, also simulcasting through the Wisdom Audio app, and I want to welcome and thank my listeners for being on this morning with me. So today's topic of conversation on the Morning Brief. If you quit on the process, you quit on the result. I saw that this morning. I believe it was through an email I received. I'm not exactly sure when, so I want to be very clear that I did not coin that phrase, but I saw it. And I knew that that was what I wanted to chat about, because not only in business or our everyday lives, how many times for instance, have you found yourself quitting on something? You wanted a result on something. You wanted it so bad and you're working so hard to accomplish it, but maybe you just couldn't get there for whatever reason. So did you quit on the process and therefore the result did not happen? And I'm going to be very honest here, as you know that I always am. I can think of many times, for instance, in my personal life, and of course in my business life, those times where I was working toward a goal and it was so hard to attain a certain goal, or maybe I just got so tired or so frustrated. Maybe there was fear associated with it, and I quit the process. What happened? Of course, I was not able to get the result that I wanted. And most recently, I've been in the process of rebranding my VA business. I'm also a podcast manager and a creative market assistant. And in that process, for instance, choosing the colors, choosing the fonts. Oh my God, it's just never ending. There are so many little details. Yet I had a vision in mind. And this is not something, obviously, that happened overnight. I knew that it was going to take a lot of effort, a lot of patience, a lot of time, but I'm slowly getting there. And of course, I have my website, and I've been working on that religiously every day. And I'm happy to say, it's obviously still under construction somewhat, but I can see the progress. I can see all the hard work that I've put into it. So I wanted to share that with you. And, in the Morning Brief here, these are discussions really that can be not only used in our personal lives, but our business lives as well. So I want to thank everyone who's on live right now through the Wisdom app. Thank you so much for being here. So if you quit on the process, you quit on the result. And I would like to welcome any of my listeners that are on Wisdom right now to come up on stage with me and have this conversation. And I believe that I already said this, I may have not, but I do simulcast on Zoom as well, going live on my Facebook page, and this will also be uploaded to my website. If you are interested in seeing my website, checking it out, I would be happy to send you the link. If you're on Wisdom right now, please feel free to send me a message in the back channel, and I would be happy to send that to you. So, do you have a personal goal in mind? That today's topic of conversation. Can you think of maybe something that you've done in the past that led you to go through this process. I bet you also have a lot of goals or different things that have happened that you worked your ass off on, and you didn't quit the process. You saw the results. Let's share those stories as well. So I invite, excuse me, my listeners to come up. And again, thank you so much for being here. I see a lot of familiar names on here, so welcome. Today is Friday 29th, and I am Janis, the host of the Morning Brief on Wisdom. I am also the podcast co-host of Two Sisters, as well as TrulyYourVA, as I'm on right now, my Facebook page, and my other podcast, Stories That Inspire Us. So the topic of conversation: what, if any, have you in the past quit on the process? Did you see the result? Let's have that candid conversation. How has that affected maybe other areas of your life? Maybe another goal that you had in mind that you wanted to achieve, but for some reason, because you quit on that process, it was difficult to attain. I also want to say too, that sometimes we have to quit the process because maybe we realized the direction that we were going in would not yield us the result that we wanted. And I often reflect to last July 2021, when my business was going a certain way, and then a catalyst type of event happened, and that changed everything. Not only my business life, but my personal life. And that led me down a different path. I had in mind back then, of course, the journey that I wanted to take, the journey that I wanted to be on. The path suddenly took a nosedive. And I believe perhaps that was meant to happen. And that led me on a different journey. It led me to reflect on not only what I love to do, but what I don't like to do. So in business, for instance, as you may know from looking at my profile, I am a virtual assistant, podcast manager, and creative marketing assistant, project management. And what I do, I've really niched down. So for instance, as a virtual assistant, if you came to me and say, Janis, I need you to build this funnel, I said, yeah, I can do that for you. Well, guess what? That is one thing I cannot do. So I would be doing you a disservice. Now, at some point, I am trying to learn that, but I have other things that I'm giving my attention toward. And I had mentioned, of course, my website. I'm really proud of the work I did on that, by the way. Okay, listeners, welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. What is something that you're proud of that you've been working on, that you are so proud of yourself? How did that process change you? How did that develop in such a way that you were able to give yourself a pat on the back? I welcome you to come up and let's share the topic of conversation. I think that it's so amazing, oh gosh, to see what the universe has in store, sometimes in the way that we expect and ways that we don't expect. I'm just going to take a quick sip here. And isn't that the beauty of different things that happen in the world? The universe is always sending us those messages, just like it did. And I have to tell you, I'm more than positive this had to have come through my email that I received someone. and it must have been in the ray line. If you quit on the process, you quit on the result. Really can, as I said, be applied to so many different things in your life. You know, there's a lot of irons in the fire, right? There are a lot of different projects going on, a lot of different goals. And working on them in such a way that, you know, I'm able to start seeing, you know, my progress. And I am proud of myself. I'm not afraid nor ashamed to share that I am proud of myself, because some of these things that may have taken someone who's a lot more tech savvier than I am, it took me a long time, but that's okay, because I learned a lot of great things along the way. What have you learned along the way that you would love to share with somebody that perhaps is listening to this broadcast right now? Again, welcome to the morning brief. My name is Janis, and the topic of conversation is, if you quit on the process, you quit on the result. And I would love for any of my listeners to come up on stage with me, and let's have that conversation. What is something that maybe you've quit on? What is something that you have not quit on? And more importantly, in that process, whichever way you went, did you learn anything from it? What do you think was the most thing that you learned that stands out to you? And come on up. I know someone wants to chat. Let's have that conversation. I want to welcome you all here today. And for my listeners that are on Wisdom, quick question as well. Are you also on Clubhouse? Which app do you like better, the Wisdom app or the Clubhouse app? I think I am really starting to enjoy the Wisdom app a little more. Still kind of getting used to the different buttons I'm supposed to push or not push with the recording aspect of it. But that is what I love about this type of platform, or even being live on video. As I said, I'm also simulcasting live on my Facebook page. And that for me is twofold. I have a fear of going on video live by myself. I don't know why. I know maybe that's kind of ridiculous. I get it. That fear is there a little bit, but I've been showing up each day, and I'm very excited about that. And even as I was going on live today on my Facebook page, TrulyYourVA, I was like, wow, this isn't okay. I'm getting used to this. This isn't as bad as I thought. You know, has that experience ever happened to you where okay, I'm going to do this little thing, which I guess I kind of blew it up to where it really didn't need to be, the fear factor, right, of going on live on video by myself. But the fear was there. The fear was real, and I stepped over it. So what in your life, what was that fear for you? How did you conquer it? What little steps did you take? I know more questions today than answers, but those are some of these questions, obviously very thought-provoking. And those are the type of conversations I think that really can be the best conversations, right? We learn so much from that. And I am learning every step of the way. So I want to welcome everyone again who's on the Wisdom app. Would love to have a conversation with any of you who want to come up. And this is the morning brief, and today's topic of conversation: if you quit on the process, you quit on the result. I'm going to give it just another minute or so, and share with you that there are obviously some other amazing things coming up this weekend. I have at 3:15 this afternoon on the Stories That Inspire Us Facebook Live page, and for that podcast, an amazing conversation with attorney Lynn Catalano. That is going to be an amazing conversation. Tomorrow on the Stories That Inspire Us podcast at 3:30, I'll be live on the Stories Facebook page. And that is going to be an amazing podcast with Daisy Page. I just want to share a little bit about Daisy while we're chatting here about different things. What a sweet lady. Her story, like many, will inspire you. I am just blown away at all these stories, all of my guests that are on Stories That Inspire Us. These phenomenal stories, and I just feel so blessed and grateful that my guests have really brought to fruition for me, honoring my son's journey from this past year. And I feel that I am maybe giving back in such a way that it just feels so good to share these stories. Back to Daisy. Many years ago, and I'm not going to give you the whole backdrop because, I would probably give away the whole podcast here, but she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And come to find out, she recently found out that she has a terminal illness called MSA, which mimics the symptoms of Parkinson's. However, she has been dealt obviously a very heavy blow with this terminal illness. But what is so amazing and inspiring about her story is that she wants to share her story in such a way that not only honors her journey, but that people can walk away with a sense of sharing and caring. Like, all she wants to do is shed light on this disease called MSA. She wrote a book. I'm in the process of reading it, and oh my gosh, her story, it will make you cry for sure. It's definitely a tearjerker, and I'm so honored that she will be on tomorrow. And through this book that she has written, which, by the way, the foreword for her book was written by actor Kurt Cameron, and she's raising funds for research and development. So, Daisy, I can't wait to have that conversation with you tomorrow and share your story. So this is the morning brief with Janis. If you quit on the if you quit on the process, you quit on the result. What does that mean for you? Welcome to all my listeners on the Wisdom app. Isn't it amazing that, we're able to connect in such a way that's so meaningful? And I'm also broadcasting live on my Facebook page. So listeners on the Wisdom app, you cannot see that, yes, I am still having that forever bad hair day, but it's all good. In any event, I hope that you all have an amazing weekend. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being you. And know that whatever story that you have that's deep in your heart that you want to share, somebody needs to hear it. And just remember too, if you quit on the process, you quit on the result. I will see you probably sometime tomorrow morning. Not sure of the time yet. And have a great day. Thank you again, Wisdom. Okay, Facebook land. Thank you so much for being here today. That's a wrap for Truly Your VA LLC. Lots of amazing things coming up. Show your true authenticity. Be you. My name is Janis, the host of Truly Your VA LLC, and have a great Friday. Thank you so much, everyone.